You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
Hey there, welcome to episode 288 of the Soul Forge podcast.
Welcome to the Soul Forge, a place of silent mystery, quiet contemplation, and outright mayhem. Join your host, Shawn Vanderloo, as he guides you through the adventures of living. Together, we'll talk about life and love, sex and dating, joy and heartache, memories and loss, and so much more. Don't worry, it's not nearly as pretentious as it sounds. Get ready for life, the universe, and everything on the Soul Forge.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. I'm your host Shawn, and with me this week is a special returning guest. You've heard her before once on a previous episode, obviously previous because this is the latest one, episode 263, where we talked about plays. So this is Leah.
Hi.
Howdy.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So you were here once before, about 25 episodes ago.
Yeah.
How did your play turn out?
It turned out well. Myself and RJ, it was our first directing experience, of course. And it was a lot of work. It's very time consuming, but it was something that we thoroughly enjoyed. There were, of course, a few mishaps that happened right on cue, but we had a wonderful cast and we had a wonderful time. And we're looking forward to the next one.
When is the next one? Do we have any idea?
Ooh, so RJ and I actually have to get together and talk about the next one, but there have been a few titles that have been thrown around and possibilities. So more to come on that one.
Well, we'll have to do another episode about that when that happens.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. But this time, we're not talking about plays and playwrights and plays the thing and all that.
Not really.
Although it is kind of a play thing.
Kind of.
We're going to talk about video games.
Everyone enjoys a video game.
And that's something that I've never covered before here on SoulForge.
Oh, wow. How come?
Because SoulForge is more about stupid things we do for love and being a better human, but I've been trying to expand it into a little bit more fun pop culture stuff.
Excellent.
A little bit here and there.
Yeah. So what's more pop culture than video games?
Movies.
Okay, well then that's true. You got me on that one.
I did. But no, video games, they're huge.
Yes, absolutely.
A multi-billion-dollar business.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Huge market. More and more, especially with COVID, kids are more into the video games than ever before.
Yeah, you don't very often see kids outside playing games anymore.
Nope.
And as a mailman, I see a lot of different neighborhoods.
Yeah. How many neighborhoods have you seen with bikes maybe on the front lawn or...
I never see bikes on the front lawn anymore.
Oh, that's really sad.
It is very sad.
It is very sad.
Yeah, maybe a couple times in the summer, but not really. I don't see kids.
What about a basketball net? Anybody with a basketball net outside?
I do see a lot of basketball nets.
Okay.
I never see anybody playing basketball.
Wow. That's very, very sad.
It
very
is.
sad.
It is.
Physical activity is very important.
And that's true. That's
Yes.
true.
Yeah.
I assume they're all inside, glued to their screens.
Playing a video game.
Yeah, pretty much.
It seems as though that's kind of the way our society is working, though, isn't it? You're in front of a screen more and more, and they're encouraging that with, online banking or online gaming. And with COVID, everybody needed to find a way to entertain themselves in the home.
That is very true. And you can do everything from your phone.
Absolutely.
Order your groceries, pay your bills, like you said, all the things.
All the things.
So is it any wonder that the kids are doing it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. I remember when I was a kid. You must remember when you were a kid?
Yes.
The original Atari, did you have one?
Atari, no. I had a Commodore 64.
Oh, I never had one of those.
Yeah.
Okay. I had the, I think it was the Atari 2600, and we had a walk-in closet with a plug-in outlet, so that's where our TV and our game system was.
Wow.
So we could go into the closet and play video games until our hearts were content.
In the closet, wow.
In the closet, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I remember playing Missile Command for hours.
Wow.
Do you ever play Missile Command?
No, I don't. The earliest memories I have are probably of a Nintendo gaming system. Although on the Commodore 64, we did have a game called The Sky is Falling, where you would catch fruit in a basket.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
I
Yes. I guess.
I think a lot of the early games where things were falling, because with Missile Command you had like I think 6 little bases, and your little cursor or whatever it was went back and forth, and you had to stop the missiles from hitting your cities.
Okay.
So
that makes sense then. Yeah.
And it got faster, and the music got more intense.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then video games started to evolve, right? I had a Sega Genesis. Did you have one of those?
No, but my good friend Andrew did.
Okay.
Played a lot of Sonic on that.
Yep. Sonic for sure. The big Sega success story, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's the console we also played Earthworm Jim on.
Okay. Earthworm Jim. Yeah. I remember a game called Toe Jam and Earl.
Oh. I think I'd heard of it. I don't know if I ever played it.
Yep. I used to play that one a lot too.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And then of course the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Yes.
When that came out, we got that, and that was a lot of fun.
It was
because you had the light guns to shoot the dog and Duck Hunt.
Yes.
You must have played that.
Yes, Duck Hunt absolutely came with the system.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
And what else? The first couple of Mario games.
Yes. On that system, that particular system, I believe, I remember Mario 3 being on that particular gaming system.
I do believe so, yes. That's the one where he turned into a squirrel?
Yes. Or the flying raccoon or something.
Whatever it was that he could fly and his tail would flap and do the thing. And,
yeah, absolutely.
And of course, Mario 2 was nothing like anything else.
No, it was very different. And you could play, I think, as 3 or 4 different characters. So there was Mario and Luigi. You could play as Princess Peach and as Toad, I believe.
I think that's right. It's been a long time since I've played those.
It's been a very long time. Very vintage now.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Definitely it is.
Yes. Although emulators are coming out, a lot of kids are taking these emulators and putting them on their computer systems so they can play these older games.
Because they were a lot of fun.
They were.
And some of them you could never beat.
No,
and
that's
the
right.
levels just continued and continued forever.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So, I remember trying so hard to beat the first Mario game.
Really?
Oh, yes. It was awful. And then my brother Curtis, he beat it first. And I was like, as if he beat it first. And then so one Saturday morning I got up and I played and I played and I played. And I finally beat it. And I woke him up and I said, look, I did it too!
We tend to get those little competitive natures woken when you're playing against a video game with somebody else. I know that there is a game now that I play on the Nintendo Switch. And my son, he sort of plays as well. And I'm always trying to beat the boss that he just beat. And how long is it going to take me versus how long is it going to take him? He, of course, likes to look this stuff up on the internet. And how do you do that? It was funny because a friend of mine and I were walking. We usually walk once a week. And we were talking about back in the day, we really didn't have these guides or walkthroughs that you could just look at.
Well,
and
we didn't have the internet.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
we had Game Genie.
Yes. And there was like a guide, but it didn't walk you through how to play the game.
No. You could just get either invincibility or unlimited weapons or lives or something to cheat.
Yes, but you could never have a walkthrough to beat the game. You had to do that on your own.
You did.
Yes. So it did require some level of thinking, and a lot more benefits, of course, at least in my mind, is that hand and eye coordination that you develop very quickly.
You do. You have to.
Yes.
If you're going to beat the game, or at least get good at it. Yeah, that's one good thing video games are for.
Absolutely.
Hand-eye coordination. And if you do it too much, though, then you get what I used to call Nintendo-itis, where your thumbs were so sore.
Absolutely. And there's more popular systems now than the Nintendo. Seems to be Nintendo is the more legacy system these days, but there's your Xbox and your PlayStation as well.
That's right. The last game system I actually bought was the original Xbox in 2004.
Wow.
I haven't bought anything since. I've played more since, obviously, but no, that was it.
Wow.
Yeah. I've always thought about, I should get another game system, and then I just never do.
So what kind of game system do you think you would want next?
Something where I can play hack and slash games. I like adventure quests.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I've tried the whole Call of Duty where you're first-person shooter. I just get myself killed all the time. I can't do those.
So you like something more like platform-to-platform type of thing?
I think so.
Yeah?
Questing, like Baldur's Gate or even a race car game.
Okay, yeah.
Which is totally different, but my favorite game used to be Rock and Roll Racing on the Super Nintendo.
Wow.
Did you ever play that?
No, I did not have an SNES.
Oh, nuts. That's awful.
Yeah, it's time to burn rubber with Rock and Roll Racing. 1 or 2 player action sends you to 6 different planets. Pick your racing machines and choose your awesome weapons. And blow away the competition. With world-famous race announcer Larry Supermouth Hoffman at the mic and some of the greatest rock and roll music of all time, it's time to slam it into gear. With laser cannons, cluster bombs, and super boosters, destroy your opponents. So back off, wimps. This race ain't for no Sunday driver.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had the best soundtrack, and you could, after you won a race, you got more money, and you could upgrade your car, and then you could get better cars, and you could shoot at people and throw stink bombs or whatever. And it was lots of fun. Me and the brothers used to rent that all the time.
Excellent.
We rented the game.
That was another thing. You could walk to the corner store and rent a game for a couple of days. And of course, the goal was to beat it before you had to return it.
Of course.
Right?
Yes.
Yes. And then you would have all these memories, games, things on your computer or on your system that you couldn't access without the game. But all these pieces of it were lingering on your system.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun. I don't know. I can't remember the name of the rental place, but they would actually drive it to your house.
Oh, yes. I remember that. They'd leave it in your mailbox or whatever. Absolutely. Yeah.
That would have been, let me think, probably around 1994.
Yep, that makes sense.
Give or take.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Services like that I used to use. Blockbuster rented them sometimes.
Yes.
And a lot of the corner stores that have disappeared recently.
Yeah, Mike's Mart. We used to go there all the time to rent games.
Yeah. Yes. There was a couple of stores that you could rent games in, for sure.
Yeah. I can't do that anymore.
Can't do it anymore.
You have to buy it all on Steam or whatever it is the kids are playing.
Yeah. These days. Yes. Lots of interesting games there. So my son is an avid gamer, and he's still with the Xbox. That's his preferred gaming system. Okay. Recently, and more often, he plays Apex Legends. Okay. Yeah, is his favorite game. And he's very much into Five Nights at Freddy's and, of course, Minecraft, which has made a huge impact on the gaming world.
Most definitely. My son loves his Minecraft as well. And you know what else he might also love? This promo for another podcast right here on the ESO Network.
There you go.
I'm George from the Metal Geeks. I just want to let you know, if you're looking for a place where we can chat about the coolest and the geekiest of things, comic books, movies, especially heavy metal, then you're not looking for anything else except for our show, Metal Geeks, where I'm always right and Carrie sometimes right, especially when it comes to movies. We're there having a good time, me, Dave, and Carrie, talking about geeky stuff and metal. I repeat, metal meets geeky. Metal Geeks.
And we're back, and I'm sure both of our sons would love that podcast.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I think they would.
Definitely.
Definitely.
So tell me more about this Five Nights at Freddy's.
Five Nights at Freddy's. Oh, okay, so it is mainly a jump scare game. So it has quite the lore, quite the cult following. You can really search on YouTube and find a lot of theories, especially in regards to the lore behind Five Nights at Freddy's. Essentially, in the first game, you play as the security guard, and your mission is to basically make it through the 5 nights at your new job as the security guard at Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. So, it's sort of a Chuck E. Cheese kind of pizzeria place. Okay. And the animatronics, so they have animatronics for entertainment for the children, and there's 4 main animatronics, at least in the first game. They're quite active at night because they want to conserve power, so they don't really necessarily turn them off because they want them to also walk around during the day. So these are free roaming animatronics. They do play music and all kinds of things to entertain children. So they don't want to turn them off at night. So the security guard is actually there to try to make sure that nothing happens. And also, because of their facial recognition software, if they happen to see the security guard, they'll think that you are actually a exoskeleton without a costume. So they'll try to stuff you in a costume.
Oh my.
So you have to make sure that you close doors when it's appropriate, make sure that you check the cameras and that type of thing. So that's kind of where it all started. And of course, going by what my son has told me, who is very much into Five Nights at Freddy's.
And isn't there a movie coming out this fall?
There is. I believe it's October 27th. The movie will hit the theaters as well as on Peacock. It's streaming straight to the streaming
I
service.
see. Okay. Okay. So we'll see if it's a good adaptation, because I think Hollywood is known for their poor adaptations of video game movies.
Yes, absolutely. Although this one is a collaboration between Blumhouse and Jim Henson's Muppet production studios. So they're doing all of the animatronics, and nobody does it better than Jim Henson's.
No, definitely not. So it might be good. And I have heard good things about the recent Super Mario Brothers movie. Mm-hmm. Not the one from the 80s. That was horrible.
It was terrible.
Yeah, awful. But this one here made quite a bit of money.
Yes, yeah.
I haven't seen it. Have you?
I have not. I'm anxious to possibly see it, though. Did you happen to see the 80s movie?
A long time ago.
Really?
Yeah.
I actually heard a rumor, and this is just a rumor, that the actor who played Mario in the first one, he was a little upset about the remake. Apparently didn't like it very much.
I think I heard that too, maybe.
Yeah.
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 And they've made lots of other video game movies, like the Lara Croft ones, Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider,
and
yes.
They were okay-ish, but nothing has ever been a really faithful adaptation, has it been?
No, I don't. I can't even think of one.
Me neither.
No. So hopefully, Blumhouse and Jim Henson's will bring Five Nights at Freddy's to fruition and do a really good job.
That would be good, because Blumhouse, they're known for their horror films.
Absolutely.
They do a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think based on the horror elements of Five Nights at Freddy's, it should be a good match.
I think the advantage that they have is the creator is or at least was involved.
Oh, even better.
Yes.
That's perfect. Right on. Anything else? Oh, you know what we just did? We just played Super Mario Kart not too long ago.
Yes. We played Mario 8.
Is that what it was?
Yes, on my Nintendo Switch.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And me and my son, we used to play that game all the time. Obviously not number 8, but whatever it was that we played. And I was really good at it. This time, it's been a few years since I played, so I did okay.
I think you did okay.
I'd never used these particular controllers before, but it's still a lot of fun.
Yeah. You got to use the actual controller.
Right.
I do find that the controllers that come with the system are rather small.
Yeah, they are kind of tiny.
Yeah. I mean, the advantage to them, of course, is that multiple people can use them to play.
Yep.
So you don't have to make any extra purchases, but I do find them rather tiny.
Yeah, they are very small.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I had the actual controller, because I don't know if I would have liked the little one. Still a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Yes. And Mario Kart seems to be the game that is continuous. They're continuously improving on it, adding more...
way more levels than what I'm used to.
Yeah.
And fun for all ages.
Absolutely.
So what could be better than that?
Absolutely. It's definitely a timeless classic.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Anything else we should talk about video games?
Video game wise, and I mentioned earlier, my son and I, there's a game that we like to play, and it's called Hollow Knight.
Oh, yes.
And I sort of stumbled upon it because I was looking for games that I could play on my Nintendo Switch. Because it was new to me. I hadn't really played a video game console since the Nintendo Wii.
Oh, wow.
So I was looking for something to play, and it was on sale. So I came across it.
Even better.
The lore to this game is actually just starting to unfold. And again, a lot of YouTubers are sort of getting on board and trying to figure out the timelines and the lore. it's pretty good. There's a new one coming out, and I'm hoping to get my hands on that one as well.
Excellent. Maybe you'll give us a review in an upcoming episode.
That would be great.
Yes. Awesome. So that's been our video game review of the SoulForge podcast. Something we've never covered before, but perhaps we will cover again.
That would be great.
So thanks for being on the show again.
Thank you for having me.
It's been my pleasure. All right, listeners, hope you all enjoyed our video game review this week. Take care of yourselves and each other. Leave a 5-star review in the podcatcher of your choice. And remember, imagination is the only weapon in the war against reality. Thank you for listening to another episode of the SoulForge podcast. Your support is greatly appreciated, and we hope you'll tune in again next time. Remember that you can visit soulforgepodcast.com for all of our social media links. And don't forget to share the show with everyone you know. The SoulForge podcast is your best source for living your best life.
Think about it.
Super Mario is back. He's blasting through worlds where no one has ever been. He's taking on enemies no one else dares. This time Mario pops up power wherever he goes, so he's bigger and badder than ever before. You've never seen creatures like these. You've never had an adventure like this. It's everything you've dreamed of and worlds more. It's Super Mario 2, only from Nintendo. Now you're playing with power.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping at the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.